What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a little bit since I posted, and it's because I took a little break from social media after I got back from Barbados, which is another story that I will share another time. But in today's video, this success story really stood out for multiple reasons, and I'm going to go ahead and read it, and we will discuss it. But stay till the end because there's a bunch of golden nuggets in here, and also I have a couple announcements at the end as well. So the email is as follows, and I got this like while I was actually out of town in Barbados, but hello, Alex. How are you doing? I am, and I left you a comment on YouTube in January about your book, and you gave me your email address. I'm so sorry I took so long to reach out. I just wanted to wait until I could write you an email, including a success story, and guess what? I have a success story to tell. But first of all, I wanted to emphasize my appreciation for your book. It is everything I align with, and like I said in another YouTube comment, you are literally the only YouTuber I write comments to. I really connect with your pragmatic and methodical approach. The fact that you never beat around the bush with long explanations, but instead give several methods on how to hack your mindset really got me into daily practices. I think the fact that you present so many different practices also gives the reader, at least someone who is really ready for change, a sense of responsibility because there's a method for everyone, every personality, and every situation. You just have to get out of the submissive mode, analyze the situation, and choose the right method to move forward. Lastly, I like how your videos often include spiritual views when you mention source along with the pragmatic approach, like at the end of your book when you talk about forgiveness. I call it the Kantian inclusive approach, which I like. It's very obvious that you always turn things over in your head. You keep a critical mind, and that makes everything you pass on 10 times more compelling. I initially studied philosophy, so your critical mind really resonates with me. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate those that have this type of critical mind. I think, funny enough, like I've heard that in Europe, they actually do like critical thinking classes. So funny enough, yeah, I feel like people that are from Europe maybe have more of this, possess more of this. But anyways, that's a side point. I have many big, massive books on manifestation at home, a 500-page long book from Jack Canfield, another from Tony Robbins, etc. But they never gave me the same impetus as your humble yet profound ebook. So thank you for creating it. I have a copy of it on my 2 computers and my phone so that I can have it with me whenever I work abroad. I use the lullaby method when walking my cat, the Neville Goddard sat scenes, and the 555 method quite intensively before the unexpected happened, and I will just give you a brief summary of my story. I changed careers a few years back and decided I wanted to become a fashion photographer. I've been working on my portfolio for 5 years while taking temporary jobs in electronics during the week and workshops during the weekend, or doing unpaid test shots with model agencies. It literally swallowed all my savings. 1 year ago, I started to think that my skills and portfolio were strong enough, and I started to reach out to brands. For a year, I sent emails and found more personal projects to add to my portfolio and had absolutely zero reply. Zero answer, nothing. And last January was a turning point. I was about to sign for another temporary job I didn't want to do, basically working in electronics and soldering micro components on electronic cards, nothing very artsy. But the daily practices and working on my self-concept made me shift out of this reality and into another one. One day, out of nowhere, I received an email from a brand asking me if I was available for a 3-day shoot and a whole spring campaign. I sent my rates and they didn't even blink an eye. I made in 3 days what I would have made in 3 months with the minimum wage. And the funniest thing is, I wasn't even able to pay my rent in January. But then they sent me an advance payment in less than 3 days, and voila, I paid my rent. Isn't that mind-blowing? Yeah. So also, I have a deep connection to London. I just love the city so much, and they wanted the campaign to be shot in London. Synchronicity. So here I am for 2 weeks. Then I wrote to fashion designers because the London Fashion Week is starting next week, and I got a positive reply for one of the shows. Now, I have to admit, the shooting went horribly, but it makes me laugh. I have a certain kind of detachment like never before, and I feel protected. There's always this voice at the back of my mind saying it's going to be all right. Everything is working out for me. A few months back, I would have cried, panicked, and felt so disheartened. But now I am laughing at the situation, and I can't wait to be booked on another campaign, to set my boundaries and higher rates and deal with respectful professional brands. I hope this email is not too long and not too much filled with grammatical mistakes. And if it is, by case, I apologize. By the way, your ebook landed on a French computer, mine. So if that isn't international fame, I don't know what is. Hope this email makes you feel good. Have a lovely day, and thank you again for everything you do on YouTube. So this, when I first read this, I was like, man, like I had this wave of just appreciation for my customer here, for them, but also just the fact that in general this book is having a positive impact for people, because I know, you know, the through the emails and the messages that I get, that's great, and I know that there's a lot of people that don't even leave comments or whatever, and so, but when I do get the comments and people are like, oh my gosh, like, you know, this helped me so much, it really makes me feel good. And we talked a little bit after that. I may have him come on and do a video at some point if he feels up to it. But you know, this is kind of filled with synchronicities. In addition to the fact, I mean, there's so many things about this, right? Not only did he shift into this state where, like he said, he shifted and then got this booked for a 3-day shoot and an entire spring campaign. You know, if you're not, I have some experience like in this industry, just from knowing other fashion designers. I've been on like little test shoots, and I've just been around. I used to live in LA. I used to have a lot of friends, female friends that went to FITM, which is Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. So anyways, the point that I'm making is that for them to book a 3-day shoot, that's like a big deal. In a spring campaign, that's like a really big deal. That's not like just like a small job. And that's why he said he made in 3 days what he would have made in 3 months. I mean, that's insane results. Not only that, but it was in London, which is like he has a connection to London. So I would guess, and you know, I don't want to put words in his mouth here, and that's why it would be nice as well to go and actually have a conversation with him on the channel. But I would guess that some of these sat scenes and things, maybe they were in a city environment. Maybe he was picturing and envisioning being in London doing this. I don't know if he specifically did, but the fact that he likes it, right? The fact that he is allowing this kind of, you know, if we talk about it from that spiritual aspect, that source to fulfill him and follow his own excitement, now it's like the universe is corresponding with that. It's lining up with what's going to make him excited, because he's in that feeling, not necessarily excited, maybe not the right word, but he's in that feeling of being fulfilled, right? He has that inner fulfillment. He's given it to himself in the 4D, and the 3D is reflecting it. He's not like, oh, I have to do this so that I can get the result, right? He doesn't have that outcome dependence, it seems to me. You know, another reason that this is just interesting to me is because I have an interest in this stuff as well. And from him reading, when we were talking later, like in my book, one of the examples that I give is a scene, a day in the life where you're being paid to shoot content. So that's another synchronicity, right? And to be working with high-end brands, like luxury brands, which it seems like is what he was doing here. And again, notice he said the shooting in London at London Fashion Week didn't go well. He said it went terribly, but he was unbothered by it. Why? Because he's shifted into this state of knowing. He's knowing it into being. This is all part of the process. It's part of the journey, right? And that's some of the most important things when it comes to this process, that a lot of people gloss over these things. I go so far in depth on how to reframe things, how to reframe situations, reframe a circumstance, situation in your mindset. I give examples. I go into detail in the book, and the book shares how to do this. Because most people that teach this stuff, or that teach mindset or manifesting or self-development, they don't actually go into how to use the technical kind of language patterns that you use with yourself, and the way that you flip situations around in your mind, the way to practice real interpretation control, real frame control. Some people, there are people that talk about NLP, they talk about certain topics like this, they do talk about frame, and in the context of dating, people talk about it, but they really don't go, it's such a nebulous topic that I distilled it down into the technical ways that we have at our disposal, the best way to change the frame, to reframe a situation, right? For example, somebody doesn't text you, right? You don't get a text back. Well, they're just so overthinking the text because they're so in love with you that they don't even know what to say, right? It's just a matter of changing a situation. Any situation, there's always multiple interpretations. And the best people at manifesting, the most successful people, the most charismatic people, the most influential people, whether you're talking about politicians, or you're talking about salespeople, you're talking about just people that are able to get get what they want in life in general, they're using this at a high level. They're constantly interpreting things in their favor, right? So you can have these affirmations like everything's working out for me, but if you don't actively flip a frame around as it comes up to be in your favor, and if you don't have the tools to do that, it's kind of like it's a little bit like shooting in the dark, like you don't know what you don't know. So my book breaks it down, and as far as the announcement today, the book so just to be straight up with you guys, this book took me over like 6 months to write the book. All the research that went into it, all the time and energy that went into it, formatting it, just writing it, fleshing it out, making sure that I left no stone unturned. But that's also years that have gone into it, like over 10 years of me just like trial and error, just like figuring out what works, knowledge that I picked up from different mentors, courses. Me personally, I've invested over $100,000 into my own personal development. That's whether it's self-development, whether it was learning sales, whether it's anything social, nutrition. I have a functional medicine doctor. I pay her tons of money to I'm that type of person, right? Where I don't spend money on some frivolous thing, right? Or a bunch of clothes, right? Or watches or something like that. Like I spend money. Most of my money has gone back that I've earned in my lifetime, reinvesting into myself. So when I tell you that this book is the accumulation of years of knowledge, years of study, years of experience working and doing this stuff, communication with people, psychology, learning, sales, learning how to control the frame, learning how to control a narrative that's going on in your own mind, I'm really being honest with you guys that it's a condensed version, and his success story here can attest to the power of the information that is in this book. And with all that being, with me knowing all of that and receiving this email, that was the final straw, because I've been wanting to record the audiobook anyways, but the audiobook version is now ready. It's now available. You can, when you go to the link in the description, if you were purchasing the book, you click purchase, or you click complete order or whatever it is. And then when you're purchasing the PDF, the ebook, you will then be given a 50% discount on the audiobook. So you will be able to get the ebook and the audiobook for $47. And again, the information that's in here, now you can listen to it at your own pace because it's on audio. And I know that a lot of us, me included, a lot of the times I prefer an audiobook because I can go about my day, go about my chores. I could be, even driving or wherever. And no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm winding down at night, whether I'm at the gym, I can pop that on and listen to it, right? And sometimes it's better, it's easier to absorb, but this way you have both. So you can listen to it, then you can refer to the material, the reading material, and it's also interactive. So there's links within it that you're gonna go and you can click on that explain concepts in more detail. There's examples, celebrity success stories, interviews, and things of this nature that are all within that ebook version. But this way you get both. And, the information that's in this, I've paid for courses that are, $1,000, $2,000 that don't even contain the type of information that's in here. So at $47, you are getting it's essentially a program, you know? You follow it through, you go step by step through the program. And when you pick out what techniques you want to do and what techniques for any given situation, like it's literally everything is there. At some point in the future, I may create a video version of this where I turn it into like course material that I walk you through step by step. But having it in both the audio and the, you're going to have more than enough. It's going to be easy going, easy sailing. And again, you can pop it on anytime as a reminder to yourself. You can play it on your iPhone. You can listen to it in your Apple AirPods, wherever you're at. And like this person said, they have it on multiple computers. And what did he say? Like on his iPad and like 2 different desktops or something. So yeah, the audio is just, it makes it so much easier to digest. It makes it so that there's so much less friction. Because I know a lot of us nowadays, we have short attention spans. We're like, I have to read this book, and we don't want to do it, right? But now it's like there's no excuse, because all you do is just pop it into your AirPods and listen to it, right? You can listen to it on 2x speed, but it's good. It's a lot of material in there. It's like, I think it's like over 8 hours, but when you go through it and you really apply it, it's almost like a fail-proof technique. Like I said, I'd love to have this person on here and interview them. I'm not sure if they're comfortable sharing their name or whatever. That's why I haven't even mentioned their name. But when you're able to go in and pick out the techniques that work for you, and you're able to do whatever it might be, whatever combination, a lot of the time I recommend the mirror technique. He was doing the lullaby method, the SATs, the 55x5 method. When you go in and you're actually feeling those, you enter into the state of the knowing by doing the techniques, you're going to see changes. It's like, there's no way that you're not going to see changes. A lot of people on YouTube, this is the last thing I'm going to do, and I'll end the video here. A lot of people on YouTube, it's become really trendy to be like, there is no technique, like you are the technique, and just feel the wish fulfilled. And I think this, just like any other industry, people want to hear what they want to hear, right? People like to be told that in order to lose weight, some of the most effective marketing is like, how I lost weight by still eating chocolate cake every day, or how I lost weight eating pizza and burgers and fries every day, right? People don't want to do the work. People want the easy solution. And when you tell somebody, hey, you don't have to do anything, you can just sit on the couch, you can just imagine the wish fulfilled. People love that. People love hearing that. People don't like to, but the thing is, it's paradoxical, because if you study manifestation, you would know that you are the one creating everything. So how is it that by you not changing, you're going to get a result? Doesn't really make sense, right? Anyways, people caught up in the idea that, I don't need to do anything. I just need to imagine this scene, not take these actions. I don't need, because there's no technique, right? I would encourage you to ask yourself, where else in life has that worked for you? Have you been able to go to the gym and not use a technique? Have you been able to improve at any certain skill that whether it's art, whether it is even doing something like cooking without using a technique? Are you just able to haphazardly go about it and just imagine the recipe being done and then it just is done? Or do you have a methodical step-by-step approach that you apply to these different things that you take seriously, and that therefore brings you a result? Because without a approach that is systematic and repeatable, you are essentially reinventing the wheel every single time. It's like the person that goes to create a meal, or let's say that you're baking banana bread. if you don't have a system, if you don't have measurements to say, okay, this is how much sugar I need, this is how much flour I need, this is how much water, how much eggs, and you're just guessing every single time that banana bread's gonna turn out different. You're never gonna know what you're gonna get. And so anyways, that's what I would encourage you to do, is to really ask yourself that and say, look, if this is what I do and I apply to every other area of my life, then why wouldn't I apply the same type of methodical, structured approach to something that's this important to me? Why would I want to just haphazardly be baking a cake, guessing at all these measurements every single time, when I don't do that when I even bake something, or when I go to do this or that, when I go to the gym, right? You follow a routine. You don't just randomly pick what to do when you go to the gym. So with that being said, guys, much love. You know, the book, like I said, is available for download in the description. And when you click purchase, again, you'll be given that 50% discount link. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to do the discount. So go ahead and grab that, because like I said, it is packed with everything that you need in order to really start seeing success, much like this person did in this story that we read today. With that being said, guys, much love as always. Drop this with a like. Let me know what upcoming topics you'd be interested in hearing from. And like I said, without further ado, click the link, get the book, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys on the other side. Hopefully I get a success story just like this, but related to whatever your circumstances are, whatever you're creating. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.